Tagline is, only time will tell if they stand the test of time. And he's poking fun at Sammy's lyric from Why Can't This Be Love? So, speaking of which, he puts Why Can't This Be Love as 131. So again, it's ranked worst to best. Worst song out of the entire Van Halen catalog, he says, is Why Can't This Be Love? And it is one of their band's biggest hits, which is kind of funny. He describes the single as the worst decision the band has ever made, which I'm sure a lot of people would contest. Now, granted, these are lists. Okay, this is it's subjective. It's his perspective. Chuck Klosterman, very decorated author and writer. And he's an interesting guy, very charismatic dude, and a great writer. So this is his idea. We're trying to follow it. He says it was a move from high-octane fiesta rock toward responsible AOR maturity. And he claims that Yankee Rose was way better. Then he goes on.
I agree with that.
Yeah, okay. He says number 130, Tattoo. Now think of all the Van Halen songs. You're putting these two at the bottom. I mean, he says the bass is too high and it gets very boring very fast. I don't know, man. I thought this was way harsh. I mean, this is just my opinion. These are quality songs that really don't deserve to be at the bottom of the barrel.
That's how he gets you to read the whole list.
Yeah, you're right. Good point.
I mean, the fact he put Why Can't This Be Love at 131.
Oh.
I mean, say what you want, but there's no way that that's the worst Van Halen song of all time. So already you're at the quote-unquote worst song.
Right.
And you're already like, what's this guy thinking?
I know.
Now I got to go through the whole list.
He's got your attention.
Of course,
he's got your attention.
It's what he wants you
right.
to do.
Yep.
He wants to shock you and get your attention.
Yep.
Which is what he did with the Eddie interview and what he's doing now. I give him a lot of credit for doing this list because I'm not sure anybody else did this before.
No. He's ballsy. He's ballsy.
Right, but the fact that, like, how many say I?
Yeah, and learning to see.
Not even in the bot, right?
And learning
or
to
up
see.
For breakfast.
Yeah.
Or
strung out. Oh, I'm going to get into that.
In fact, I mean, those are just three songs off the top of my head where I'm like,
well,
how can these not be at the bottom of the list?
Right, I'm going to get into that. I have a couple of things to mention. So believe it or not, Learning to See and How Many Say I were ranked above Tattoo and Why Can't This Be Love, which is shocking. Now, he also puts to the bottom, way toward the bottom, is a lot of the ones from Van Halen 3. Surprise, surprise. Year to the Day gets 125. I think that song deserves better. Really, Eddie did some insane guitar work there, and Klosterman notes that Sharon is doing a Hagar impression, and he exposed the length at 8.5 minutes as being far too long. So, and now also, down at the bottom, like I said, lots of Van Halen 3 songs. Once at 124, Josephina 123, Without You at 122, which I'm sure breaks Dave's heart.
It does.
And One I Want at 121, Dirty to Water Dog at 119. Woo! Van Halen 3 got a beating. This is at the bottom rung here. It's not a surprise. But here's my question. Strung Out, like you mentioned earlier, makes it to 110, while As Is sits at 111? I don't know about that. I think that's a little
I know
bizarre.
You and I have higher opinions of different kind of truth songs than a lot of other people.
Yeah, and it's also strange, like he's throwing in here, I'm just going to point out some different things here. We can't go through the whole list, but there's some just little highlights I wanted to say. He's got all the instrumental interludes in here, and I don't know if you can really count those as songs. Like, he has Primary in here as 114, which gets better placement than Chinatown at 117, or Honey Sweetie Baby Doll, which he says the title is Too Dumb to Forgive. Ooh, I think that was at 115.
He's just, he's trying to be like smarmy, smart alecky. It's kind of like I get why he's writing like that, but sometimes you're reading that stuff. I'm like Ted Templeman. I'm like, come on, man, give me a break.
Yeah,
like really.
That's true,
like,
man.
Come on.
That's true.
Like, come
so
on.
yeah, and so like I said, Honey Sweetie Baby Doll comes at 150. Then he's got a Hagar classic, like The Dream Is Over, at 108. It gets dumped below Pleasure Dome, which is at 99, and Seventh Seal at 101. I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
He called The Dream Is Over a song that sounds like an imaginary Michael J. Fox movie, And he called the Seventh Seal, it sounds like mid-period yes. I don't know where he's
Really?
Yeah, it was bizarre.
I think that's one of their better songs. But again, that's just me.
I know. I just and he's got like Amsterdam at 89, AFU at 92, Mine Old Mine at number 90. So now these are the Roth tracks that he throws toward the bottom. Okay, he's got Loss of Control at 112, Me Wise Magic at 104, Tora Tora at 96, One Foot Out the Door at 95. Can't Get This Stuff No More at 120. So those are some Roth ones that get tossed. Now, this is a real shocker. This one kicks you right in the balls. Okay, so Summer Nights. And I love Summer Nights, but it's at 27, and it's above So This Is Love, which is 29, and Mean Street at 28. These are two of the most classic Van Halen songs.
Yeah, Mean Street. I mean, I know it's in the top 30, but that's still too low.
But still, in what world is this okay? This
Right.
this alone makes the list questionable. But Love Walks In, 32 is above, okay, above Atomic Punk, which is 34, and On Fire, number 33. I mean, whoa.
I know. I know. Look,
yeah.
The guy's entitled to his opinion.
No, he is,
I just don't happen to agree with.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and just to give you some other highlights, Cabo Wabo makes it to number 12, which is above Hear About It Later at number 13. In a Simple Rhyme at number 14.
I don't get what the love is.
Wow.
For Cabo Wabo.
Yeah, right, and here's another one. Best of Both Worlds comes in at 22, which is ahead of Somebody Get Me a Doctor at 23. I'm the One at 24, and Ain't Talking About Love at 25. Oh, my God. He's got Humans Being ahead of Jump. Humans Being number 15, Jump number 16. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I love Human Being.
Yeah,
don't get
I know.
me wrong. Actually, you know what? I almost don't have a problem with that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I know that's sacrilegious.
Here's a real shocker. This is a shocker. So top 10. Now you're thinking elite top 10 for Christ's sake, right? Number 10, 5150. Wow. I love that song. It's one of my all-time favorite Sammy songs, but holy shit, number 10. And DOA, which I love. It's a great album track. Number 5. That was another ballsy move. Woo! Some of our favorite album cuts. Drop Dead Legs, number 41. The Full Bug, 66. Dave's favorite, Secrets, at number 72. Sinner's Swing, one of my all-time favorites, number 70. Feel Your Love Tonight, number 11. Whoa, that made it up there. Now, this is another one that's crazy. I'm just going to point out a couple of these things, and we'll be done. Some of their biggest hits. Jump, number 16. Right Now, 58. When It's Love, 74. Dreams, 38. Pound Cake, 35. So some of the band's biggest hits, really in interesting positions. The Covers, okay. You Really Got Me at number 7. Pretty Woman, which he includes with Intruder. I don't understand. Okay. Number 21. Dancing in the Streets, number 30. Where Have All the Good Times Gone, number 17. Oh, my God.
I don't know how Where Have All the Good Times Gone got that high.
Whoa! So I think Ray Davies gave him a little payola over there. See,
maybe.
Yeah. So listen,
maybe.
This is really 1984, which is the opening track to 1984.
Right.
Number 75. Oh, Madonna me, Jesus Christ.
Well, you know what? He succeeded because here we are complaining about.
He's
the list.
right. And now here's the last thing I want to mention. This is a little interesting. Number 1 song, Eruption. Now, here's the thing about Eruption. I have a duality here. Number 1, Eruption is probably the most important recorded thing that Van Halen's done. Why? Because that track really inspired more guitarists than anything they've done. I mean, that track alone lives on, and inspired so many guitarists to push the boundaries of guitar. Granted, however, it's not a song. So maybe if you call this the top 131 tracks or whatever, but it's not really a song. However,
you're gonna fight over semantics now?
I am, of course. That's the whole reason we do this podcast is to fight over semantics. So listen. I have to say that Dave and I are vindicated because the number 1 song officially not counting Eruption as a song, is Unchained. It's number 2. And the reason why is he thinks it's the quintessential Van Halen song, which I happen to agree with. I happen to think Unchained, which is what we named the podcast after and everything, okay, that song is the summation of Van Halen. It's got Van Halen's groove, it's got Van Halen's power, it's got Van Halen's humor, all wrapped up in one little cute Tootsie Roll, which is known as Unchained. So, Mr. Klosterman, we'd love to speak to you, bring you on the podcast, discuss this and the interview you did with Eddie. So we are fans of your work. He's an excellent writer, an interesting character on television. So that wraps up Van Halen news. And we are on to Dave, our most massive mailbag we have ever received. Wow, we heard from a lot of you this time out, and we are happy to speak to you guys through the mailbag that is completely created so that you guys have a voice in the podcast and you can ask questions and cite opinions, and we are going to get into that next. We also are going to talk to Jacques Van Gool. Jacques is going to come on. He's going to give us some sort of logistics as how the auctions work, what items are going to cost, and how a fan can navigate their way through something like this. Followed by that, we are going to have our exclusive interview with Noel Monk, former ex-manager of Van Halen from 1978 to 1985. He talks all about his new Van Halen auction, which has hundreds and hundreds of items from his personal collection. Like I said, this is a museum treasure trove of Van Halen goodies. And it's all coming up next. Take a listen.
It's a constant movement. Who needs dead space? A lot of people have nothing to say in between songs. I love talking. I love telling jokes. For me, this is just one big wet t-shirt contest, you know. And so if you stop, you're going to talk, you're going to introduce things. How many bands have you heard? They get on stage and, oh, well, here's one off our 15th album. Hot dog time. Let's go get a hot dog, baby.
If you need a dose of VH, get a taste of the closest thing. Romeo Delight, the ultimate Van Halen tribute band, playing all the hits from the David Lee Roth era, first classic 6 albums, plus deep cuts, some of which have never been played live before by the band. They even throw in popular tracks from the Sammy Hagar era and solo hits. The most viewed Van Halen tribute band on YouTube, Romeo Delight, doing customized recreations of staging, instruments, and costumes from the classic Van Halen era. They even perform entire Van Halen albums in sequence. Romeo Delight plays theaters, casinos, summer indoor and outdoor festivals, and special events. They're also available for private parties. To contact them, call Bud Blanche at 215-704-5144. That's 215-704-5144. Or via email at sonicparade1@yahoo.com. Romeo Delight, the ultimate Van Halen tribute band.
Hola, amigos. This is Billy Sheehan, your bass player. You listen to my good friends Dave and Dave right here on Dave and Dave Unchained.
Hey, folks. I'd like to introduce you to the Classic Rock Album by Album podcast. Welcome to the Classic Rock Album by Album podcast, where no stone is left unturned in the show's epic quest to review and dissect every single rock album ever made. Join self-proclaimed rock authorities Chris Carson and Lee Bowie on their epic journey to uncover the true classics. You can find the Classic Rock Album by Album podcast wherever podcasts can be found, including Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Our website address is classicrockalbumbyalbum.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN.com. And we can be reached on Facebook at fb.me/Classic Rock Album by Album. See you soon from the Classic Rock Album by Album podcast.
Well, if there's any kind of image here, it's a non-image. Van Halen controls all of its press, all of the media, we have no fat cat manager in a three-piece suit saying, kid, cut your hair like this, and kid, do like that. We be ourselves. What you see on stage with Van Halen is only what you're going to find underneath the stage. And what you see backstage is probably what you're going to find upstairs in the hotel. You know? And it's a kind of a non-image. And that's the integrity of Van Halen, if there's any to be found. But that's the integrity, that we're actually doing what we want.